All right, we've already looked at these two: separate billing, address for payment, removing and adding coupon codes and gift certificates through the Business Hub. We're down to the last few changes here. Yeah, this next one is also a pretty important one just because we have received this as a feature request quite frequently. And it's a feature that we actually used to have before we changed to the drag and drop editor for the website, the newer website framework. And the feature itself is the ability to display a help pop-up or help window in the design tool. So let's take a look at what it looks like and how you can customize it. So I'm going to come into my website page editor, open up the designer page, and click into the designer widget to open up the settings. Down at the bottom, we have the new help pop-up section, and I can enable show help pop-up to display the icon. And you can see it's the question mark here on the very bottom right-hand side of the designer. So let me save and publish that change so we can take a look at the live site and see how that pop-up displays, or the information that it displays. Okay, so if I click that help pop-up, you'll see the content that we've generated by default. Now, I would say it's important to understand that DecoNetwork is a standardized platform, and we have users that use the platform in many different ways. So you may find that some of this content doesn't apply to you or needs to be adjusted. So definitely feel free to, and we'll take a look at how to adjust it, but feel free to come in and make any necessary adjustments to this help content. This is just kind of some basic starting points for how to use the designer that we determined on our end. But for example, when we are explaining the process of adding text to a product, we're listing all of these decoration processes like rhinestone template, embroidery, printing, transfer, screen printing, which may be processes that you don't have enabled on your system. And so potentially displaying that this information here to your customer may be confusing, right? So not only that, this is using the default theme colors unchanged, and your site may look a lot different, right? You may have rounded off all of the buttons through the options in the style editor. You may have changed the color of the designer from black to red. And so that's another case where you may find that you're going to have to come in here and edit this content for it to make sense to your user. But there's a lot of good basic information, and some of this you can definitely reuse. Some of it you might have to change. But it does go through each of the options available in the design tool. All right, so let's take a look at where to edit that content. The designer help content is part of what we consider the commercial terms for your account. So it is a global setting. The same content is displayed across all of your web stores. Here from the admin area on the left-hand side, we would click into settings and then choose commercial terms. So once we're there, down at the bottom is where we're going to find our online designer help page. And we can go ahead and press edit to see the default content. If we want to go in and make an adjustment, we need to enable the override default content option. And that's going to allow us to come in here and start making changes. So you could make changes both to the text if you need to, or images. Let's say like this image here, for example, that we looked at earlier. I may need to swap that out for one that shows only the processes that I have enabled on my account. So I may delete that image, and then using the toolbar, I can choose the image option, choose to browse the server, and this opens up the file browser, which I can use to upload an alternate image. So I'm just going to upload an example for now, but you would obviously use the correct image there. So let me pick that image. We'll get the URL for that. And we can paste that in. So, okay, that's quite large there. We may have to adjust the size. Let's go with a percentage here. Let's see, we'll lock the aspect ratio. That should do the trick. Not quite. Let's see, I think it's a square image, so try that. There we go. So you can obviously upload your own replacement images, but it's definitely going to be helpful for your end customers to have some additional feedback. We do get feedback from our licensees that the designer can be a little bit cumbersome to use, and so part of that is just informing the customer how to use the available features, and so this will be pretty helpful with doing some education for your customer on how to use the tools that are available to them.